Among the stories coming up on today's 5.
Protesters upset over experimental drugs for AIDS patients shut down the FDA building near Washington. Some are arrested.
We'll look at the goals educators in Minnesota would like to reach in this school year.
We'll continue our look at what it's like behind the scenes on Crack Avenue.
And we'll explore the role the Chanhassen Dinner Theater has played in the Twin Cities on its 20th anniversary.
I'm Pauline Needles.
And I'm Don Shelby. The 5 p.m. report is coming up next.
Concord House in Minnetonka, your Ethan Allen Gallery is going out of business. Now save 30 to 70% on gorgeous living rooms. Save 30 to 70% on these handsome dining rooms and dinettes. 30 to 70% off quality bedroom sets and twin, full, and queen bedding. Nowhere else can you save so much. Concord House in Minnetonka, your Ethan Allen furniture store, is going out of business forever. 13820 Wayzata Boulevard at the junction of 494 and Route 12, Minnetonka. Visa and MasterCard accepted. Open 7 days.
On the next live, Kathy, did you ever try mail order?
No, but I'll take a tall, dark, and handsome football jersey number 16.
Mail order furniture. It's
Oh.
the best way to buy brand new furniture for your entire house. You'll get it straight from the factory at about 50% off retail prices, and we'll tell you how.
Plus, she's the hottest teen on primetime TV, Samantha from Who's the Boss. Actress Alyssa Milano will join us with an energetic exercise routine to keep all you kids in tip-top shape.
Wednesday at 9 on Channel 4.
WCCO Television, Minneapolis, St. Paul, Channel 4.
Hundreds of protesters staged sit-ins and closed down the headquarters of the Food and Drug Administration near Washington today in a dispute over experimental drugs. The protests turned into arrests.
WCCO Television presents Don Shelby, Colleen Needles, and Bud Craven. This is the 5 p.m. report.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us. Hundreds of angry demonstrators effectively shut down a government building in the nation's capital today.
And the building is the Federal Food and Drug Administration headquarters. Protesters ringed the building, demanding the FDA allow the use of experimental drugs by terminally ill AIDS patients. And as Skip Loescher explains from our Washington newsroom, dozens of demonstrators were arrested when they staged sit-ins in front of the FDA's main interest. Skip.
Don, the demonstrators are angry at the FDA for what they say is the agency's criminally inadequate response to the AIDS crisis.
Black kids are here! Loud and clear! Black kids are here! Loud and clear! Act up! Fight back! Fight AIDS!
They ringed FDA headquarters, forcing police to turn away most of the agency's 5,000 employees when they arrived for work.
FDA, don't delay! 52 will die today!
52 people are dying of AIDS a day in this country, and they're holding on to drugs that are being released in other countries.
40,000 dead from AIDS! Where was the FDA?
We're here because our friends are dying, and there's 134 or so treatments that the FDA is not releasing to them.
Behind the barricades. Behind the barricades, please. Most of the demonstrators did stay behind police barricades, but to illustrate their frustration, dozens laid down in the street in front of the main entrance and were arrested by police wearing rubber gloves.
How many more have to die? How many more have to die?
They planned to get arrested, and there was no violence.
I think that the ripple effect from these kinds of actions will lead us in a helpful direction.
The St. Paul pastor hopes the FDA will be more compassionate towards the terminally ill, whether they're dying from AIDS or cancer.
When it is safe, they could at that point, I think, make provisional release to patients who are seriously ill.
But the FDA says it must be sure that a drug is both safe and effective before it is approved for public use. Don?
Thanks, Skip. The sounds of campus unrest heard today at the University of Minnesota. About 100 people protested plans to build a new swimming center on the site of the old Memorial Stadium. They say the Gophers belong on campus, not in the Metrodome, and that the old stadium could be made ready for football at the mere cost of about $1.4 million. They say they'll go to court to try to block the $20 million swim center, of which groundbreaking is set now for November 22nd.
The Minneapolis Police Federation today compared the city's starting wages for cops to fast food restaurants. Federation officials held a news conference in front of Burger King to make their point. They say a dramatic number of qualified police applicants turned down jobs on the Minneapolis force because of the two-tier wage scale, which allows new officers to start at a lower wage. They say the system is also responsible for high turnover among police officers. Minnesota education finds itself facing several big issues this school year. In fact, different districts around the state are handling some major trouble spots that could have an impact on the quality of education in the state.
Our education reporter is Darryl Savage, and he joins us now with a look at what is being done. Darryl.
Well, Don and Colleen, the schools are facing a number of tough questions this year thanks to some budget problems, changing enrollment, and even new teaching philosophies. Here are some of the state educators' top priorities. First of all, there's more of an emphasis on early childhood development. This way, teachers can spot possible learning disabilities quicker, and educators say it's important for parents to get more involved in the schooling of their children. Another priority is maintaining the quality of education while the number of kids in class keeps going up. Many districts are hiring extra teaching specialists to help. Some schools are adding after-school activities to extend the day for students. This gives the kids something to do while keeping them from being home alone. Meeting more diverse student needs is becoming more important. Extra language courses and young parent programs are just two examples. The big project the next few years will be balancing open enrollment while maintaining racial balance. Districts continue to debate whether open enrollment is a good idea or not. Anti-dropout and stay-in-school programs are possibly the top priority statewide. Educators are using the latest technology to keep students in school and get previous dropouts to come back. People like Renee Strong. Renee got bored and dropped out of North Branch High School a year and a half ago. Then she got pregnant.
It doesn't meet everybody's needs. Everybody is different in school. They need different options. Some people just don't learn in a regular school.
But Renee now has her diploma. After attending her regional alternative learning center, she accumulated enough credits to graduate in August.
I wasn't going to get anywhere without my diploma. I also needed to set a good example for my son. I need to show him that his mother actually did finish school and that he should do the same also.
Now, if you're wondering why alternative learning centers are so important, consider the fact that here in Minnesota, the state with the highest graduation rate in the nation, an estimated 1 out of every 3 students either drops out of school or is at risk of doing so.
All of these goals have to be met at the same time while budgets are being cut constantly.
That is something that a lot of superintendents and individual school principals are having to deal with, because that's something that's very tough to do, especially when you're talking about class size. And because we have fewer teachers in many cases, the class size goes up, the quality of education goes down.
Darryl, do you know how many students who actually drop out of high school then make it to one of these alternative schools?
Not very many, and that's one of the things that the administrators of these alternative programs are trying to do, is try to get more people aware that these services are available.
All right, Darryl. Thank you.
Vice President George Bush went back to school today to level charges against Democratic rival Michael Dukakis. Bush used Seattle University Business School as a backdrop for charges that Dukakis is stoking fears about foreign investment in the United States. Meanwhile, Dukakis accused Bush of using a human tragedy for political purposes. Bush has criticized Dukakis for a prison program that allowed a furloughed prisoner to rape and assault 2 people. Dukakis called Bush's charges crass and cynical. Tonight, Dukakis heads for Los Angeles and Thursday's debate with Bush. On his way, Dukakis will make a brief stop in Fargo, North Dakota.
Authorities in Hennepin, Carver, and Scott counties continue to make arrests today in what they call an unprecedented sweep of drug dealers. So far, about 50 people have been arrested. Police say the number will be close to 100 by the time they wrap up the sweep. Today, 7 suspects made court appearances on numerous drug charges. Investigators have also seized drugs, cars, guns, and $35,000 in cash in this sweep. Most of those arrested are street-level dealers. Authorities say their suppliers have been traced to Phoenix, Chicago, and Trinidad.
Stay with us as the Tuesday 5 continues. Up next, life on Crack Avenue.
We're going to continue our behind-the-scenes look at how that drug is sold in the Twin Cities and who's doing it. The story coming up next.
let the cold take hold. Shop the Oktoberfest sale at Menards and save. Manville fiberglass insulation is on sale now. And for a limited time, there's a $1 per roll mail-in rebate to save you even more. Choose R11 fiberglass, now just $4.44 per roll after rebate. Or insulate with R25 insulation, and your net cost is just $7.66 per roll. Insulate now and save at Menards.
The Oktoberfest sale will save you more at Menards.
Jack Doyle before Nutrisystem. Jack Doyle after Nutrisystem.
I lost 94 pounds, and I feel fantastic. I've been in the restaurant business for 15 years and find myself always exposed to food. I was constantly eating, but thanks to Nutrisystem, I've solved that problem. I really feel good about myself. I feel like I have a lot more self-confidence than I used to. My wife used to call me the incredible expanding man. Now she calls me incredible.
Don't wait. Call now. Nutrisystem. We succeed where diets fail you.
But listeners have a choice in the morning.
Not everyone listens to WLTE to start the day.
Yeah, some people. Just like a dose of wacky guys first thing.
Even I sometimes tune around for news or talk. But then I spend the day with WLTE.
That's okay. WLTE is perfect to listen to all day long.
Wherever you are.
It's because we have great light songs to sing along with. Our main message, no matter how you start the day, spend the day with the Light FM, 103 WLTE.
You're invited to a party.
Biggest night of my life.
No one's coming. On New Art.
Tonight at 10:35 on Channel 4.
This afternoon, we continue our behind-the-scenes look at how the drug crack is sold and who is selling it. The WCCO television I-team spent 2 months recently in a part of Minneapolis that is linked to heavy drug traffic. In fact, police have made 24 raids near the 3100 block of 4th Avenue South just this year. As the crack problem grew in the Twin Cities, this area was one of the most affected.
Al Austin of the I-team joins us again this afternoon to continue his look at what we are calling life on Crack Street.
Don, there's some dispute in the Twin Cities over how large a part outside gangs play in the local crack epidemic. Police who patrol 4th Avenue in Minneapolis Central neighborhood say they arrest a lot of people from the Chicago area and from St. Louis and Los Angeles. But many are local people as well, small-timers trying to make a quick buck, who often are barely able to sell enough crack on the street to support their own drug habits. This afternoon, we take a closer look at who they are, what they're doing, and why.
At first, it isn't clear what the pictures show. Lots of people standing around outside. But then it's the middle of a hot summer. They wave at motorists, and often the motorists stop to talk. A lot of children. It's like a Norman Rockwell picture, exaggerated. But look closer. Some of the people wander from house to house to house, as though they live everywhere and nowhere. They seem aimless, but serious about it. Day after day, the pictures stay the same, but the people keep changing. Different young men and women wander from house to house. All of them young. Where are the old people? And some of the friendly curbside hellos are not that at all. What we were seeing in July and August from windows on both sides of 4th Avenue was a neighborhood occupied by drug dealers. The children had a crack market for a playground. For a role model, they had this man showing off fat rolls of drug money. Or the man who finished off a Saturday evening of drug dealing by riding away in a stretch limo, tossing what appeared to be money to his admirers. Only part of the drama was played in the street. There was more indoors. We drilled a peephole in the door of our apartment and had a view of the hall just inside the front door. There, shielded from the view of passing police, the trade in crack was even more blatant. No one you see here lived in this building, except the Indian child. His family lived upstairs. They resented their building being used as a crack house.
You guys just can't do that no more, okay? Stay out of our house here. Okay. All right? You guys don't even live here, okay?
Hey, would you let me talk to him?
I live right upstairs there, man.
Okay, would you let me talk to him?
Well, stop up. Talk to him outside then. Talk to him outside. Talk to him outside then, man. Give you one chance to get out here.
This transaction wasn't for crack, but for merchandise. It looked like a fur coat.
How much?
This deal was for crack.
You got 20? I'll set you straight now. Here. But see, this ain't to be me, you know, so, you know, this is my homeboy, so I set you straight. I'll give you your choice. 3 big bowls, take your choice. 3 big bowls.
In August, the building's caretaker installed new locks, and the pushers found themselves back on the street among the children.
They don't have no respect for nobody on this block, none whatsoever. They invade everybody's privacy. They don't care about the older people or the kids. Only thing they really care about is the hit and the money. They don't care about your feelings, my feelings, nobody else. Nobody else rights. They just, hey, I'm doing this and this is what I want. I don't care who it hurt or nothing.
We tried to learn who the people are that hang around 4th Avenue. Where are they from? What draws them to this street? It was like trying to interview a flock of birds.
I don't even live on this street.
You live around here?
No, I don't. You live around here? I don't even live around here.
You live here? No one around here? No one lives here.
No one lives here.
Why do you suppose that is?
I don't know.
Everyone who's here lives somewhere else.
This is a nice street, you know. A lot of people know people. You know what I'm saying?
It is a nice street?
Well, you know, except for them crazy people that shoot and stuff, it'd be all right.
How about the people selling drugs?
I don't know nothing about that either. Trying to find me a woman.
Where are you from?
Cuba.
This is Pedro Cariachi. He lives with a friend 1 block away, but hangs around 4th Avenue. He's famous here for trying to sell soap to people who think it's crack. One resident called him the Soap King and said he gets beat up for it regularly. Today is a slow day.
Like you now, man. No money's in my pocket. Broke. Hey, my friend.
I hear that this is a place to come if you want to buy crack.
Well, you're kind of right about that. See, people, you know, it's like, once they got started, you know, it's like kind of hard to, you know, stop people from coming over here.
Yeah? Who is it? Where do they come from? Really?
We'd seen Lindsay Harmon day after day going in and out of at least 4 houses, selling what appeared to be crack and smoking it. He apparently has no permanent home. This conversation was 2 days after Harmon had seen a man shot nearby. He said the victim had sold someone some soap.
I just hang out because, you know, you got a lot of friends around here.
Yeah.
You know, and they give you money or, you know, if you want to hit or something, they give you, you know.
A hit of cocaine?
Yeah.
Harmon insisted he isn't hooked on the drug and doesn't commit any crimes to pay for his cocaine use. But on July 20th, police arrested Harmon and a juvenile on suspicion they'd tried to sell a woman some crack, then grabbed her purse and ran.
You might take everybody out here to jail now. Take everybody out of jail, and a new group will come. And then take all them to jail, and then a new group will come. And then take all them. I don't know. All I can see is
why do they come here?
Because a lot of people come on the street looking for that stuff. They can stop the cars from coming on the street. I mean, it's a different thing, you know. But you can't stop the cars. As long as you don't stop the cars, you ain't gonna stop the stuff, you know. As long as the car put up and say, we want this, they gonna get it.
So because they have a reputation of being a crack street, it brings the crack dealers?
No, it brings the cars.
Yeah.
The cars what makes the crack dealers come.
So the cars bring the dealers, and the dealers bring the cars. Supply and demand. Of course, there's more to it than that. There's all the rental property in the block with landlords not there to control who goes in and out of their building. There's a history of benign neglect by the city and more. Don, Colleen?
Where are the police in all of this? They just seem to be flaunting this behavior, the selling of the drugs. Seen the naked eye, can the cops do nothing?
Oh, the police are making arrests, and they are stopping people and searching them. But it's hard to find crack on people because it's so small, so easy to dispose of. And there was a step up in activity late in the summer, and it did have an effect, which we'll see in the fourth report.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Al.
And a quick reminder to tune in tonight to our 10 p.m. report, Dimension segment. We're going to look at what makes crack such a special problem.
And this Tuesday 5 is going to continue in just a moment. Hope you stay with us. We're going to check the time for you right now. It is 5:18 in just about 2 seconds.
Great, Ray. That's a wrap.
Huh? Oh, I heard it through the grapevine. Oh, I heard it through the grapevine. Rains in the California sunshine. Rains in the California sunshine. Whoa, through the grapevine. Yeah, I heard it through the grapevine.
That's sweet.
Is it a challenge to keep things neat and clean at your home? Now, Kmart brings you the amazing Carpet Machine Plus by Bissell. You can own your own machine and clean carpets, upholstered furniture, your car, and so much more. The Carpet Machine Plus shoots warm cleaning solution, while powerful suction pulls out liquid and dirt, yet it won't soak carpet or upholstery. Clean your entire home anytime you like and get professional-looking results. Own a Bissell Carpet Machine Plus, $159.97 now at Kmart.
At Holland America Line, we never forget whose vacation it is. The joy of doing what you want, the art of going your own way. Come discover the Caribbean aboard Holland America Line. Right now, you can save up to $637 a couple while you cruise the Caribbean for 7 or even 10 days. There's no better time than now to call your travel agent and join us aboard the ocean liners of Holland America Line.
Here I got a whole box of Kellogg's Raisin Squares. No salt, no fat. So is that why I'm eating them? No, I gotta eat them because they taste great. Let's face it, I'm a slave to that raisin in the middle. I mean, everybody knows that staying away from salt and fat makes sense for the heart. Now, there's a reason for eating Raisin Squares. But me? No. It's yum, 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 yum. Oh, I wish I'd grow up.
Kellogg's Squares. No salt, no fat. Relax. Enjoy them to your heart's content.
With the cooler temperatures forecast for tonight, we have for you a special treat, a squirrel's eye view of a birch tree. Should I run up this birch tree or should I stay down here on the ground? Looks pretty high up there, doesn't it? Well, we're talking about temperatures now, and there were some little cool side temperatures this morning. Duluth was 28, Rochester 29, and at the Metropolitan Airport, the Weather Bureau had 34 degrees this morning. We'll drop below that tonight, probably the coldest of the season so far. 29 has been our coldest overnight temperature. That was October 5th. We'll go a couple of degrees below that for tonight. Now, why are we talking about Florida? Well, Tallahassee this morning was 48. There is a minimum temperature record here somewhere. Orlando 60, Tampa 59, and Hollywood, Florida 65 this morning. That, incidentally, was a minimum temperature record for the day. Temperatures in the mid-70s warmed up from Savannah, Georgia to Denver, Colorado, Spokane, Washington, 85 at Tucson. Sleet earlier today at South Bend, Indiana, 48. Some snow around Ironwood, Michigan, 37. Concord, New Hampshire was 59. An inch of snow at Mount Washington, New Hampshire today. And still, we've got precipitation, mixture of rain and snow, parts of Michigan, and rain down through Ohio, parts of western New York and Pennsylvania. There's a little bit of rain, too, northern California, northwestern Nevada. All amounts were less than a third of an inch. And it's 42 at Duluth, 49 at St. Cloud, 48 degrees at Rochester, and our high in the metro area today was 50, but we have cooled off a little bit. We're 49, humidity 37%, winds from the northwest 12, pressure steady at 30.20. Tonight, clear, 28 overnight. Winds will be light and variable. For tomorrow, a sunny day, 50 for the high, and again, light and variable winds. And our Thursday forecast, sunny to partly sunny with the afternoon temperature at 57 degrees. Yesterday, we talked about the mild weather moving in for the weekend. We've tempered it just a little bit to upper 60s to low 70s, but
Still sounds terrific.
that's nice tempering.
It sure is. Thanks, Bud.
Stay with us now. The Tuesday 5 continues. We're going to talk about the Chanhassen Dinner Theater. Tonight, it makes its 20 years and counting.
We're going to see what the theater is doing for its anniversary and the role it has played in the community over the years. The story is next.
My tissue makes my nose hurt. And it gets red also just from my allergies.
Here's first aid for your nose when it's sore from too much blowing. Puffs Plus.
Feels like there's something on the tissue. Feels almost like a lotion. Well, I think the great thing is that it has lotion and it doesn't smell.
Lotion, oh my gosh. It's the first tissue with moisturizing lotion. Puffs Plus.
Puffs Plus saved my nose. Puffs Plus feels better on my nose than my other tissue. Our noses have not been sore since the day I started using this product.
Choosing the location of a new Highland superstore is serious business. It takes months of exhaustive research. Reams of demographic data have to be interpreted.
Here's that psychographic profile on the audio buying habits of young adults.
In selecting the site, our team of experts scans the globe for a site large enough to accommodate the vast selection Highland's famous for.
Microwave, sir. Looks like a heavy demand in Sector 37.
And to celebrate the event, grand opening savings have to be planned for every Highland store. Like this Panasonic VHS video recorder with wireless remote, just $198. And this white Westinghouse large capacity automatic washer, just $219. So where will the new Highland store be?
Your decision, sir?
It's all very impressive, but I don't understand any of this. Therefore,
Highland's newest store is in Roseville, located in the Harmar Mall. Sale now through Wednesday.
Arby's introduces Chicken Cordon Bleu. Arby's new Chicken Cordon Bleu, a masterpiece, a triumph, a great sandwich. Arby's tender breast of chicken filet, topped with savory ham and melted Swiss cheese, all on a fresh poppy seed roll. Arby's new Chicken Cordon Bleu sandwich, a performance for the taste buds, appearing only at Arby's.
The Chanhassen Dinner Theater is celebrating its 20th anniversary today.
Yes, in fact, tonight, beginning in just a few minutes from now, there will be a reception at the theater honoring its founders, Herb and Carol Bloomberg. In the 20 years since the theater's doors have opened, it has developed a national reputation, and our entertainment reporter, Bill Carlson, visited with one of the honorees this afternoon.
One of the leading theater operators in the country today, Herb Bloomberg, came to the business in an unusual way as a building contractor.
My start in the theater business was building the old log theater, which was for a good friend of mine and Don Stoltz, and we've been friendly competitors ever since.
Filling 1,000 seats for dinner and theater each evening is a big order, but the success has been such that the Chanhassen credit has become valued.
In the present cast, I think we have 2 or 3 people that said they're now Chanhassen actors, even though they came in from New York. And we have people auditioning from both coasts to get the Chanhassen name on their records.
And the theaters have been good community citizens.
You can travel almost anywhere in the country, and people know of Chanhassen and the Chanhassen Dinner Theaters. The entire complex represents about 400 full-time employees, not including the number of students that are employed for part-time employment. In addition, the Dinner Theater has remained as one of the largest property tax paying parcels within the community, and this has been for the past 20 years.
They've also been adept at attracting new neighbors.
You think that the success of an entertainment complex like this one is what might have induced Prince to build another entertainment complex just a few miles to the west?
Well, believe it or not, he told us that.
And the fulfillment of the Bloomberg dream continues.
You can always say that there was a dream, but this is a very nice dream to wake up to.
Bill Carlson, WCCO Television News.
Governor Perpich has declared this Herbert and Carol Bloomberg Day in a proclamation that will be read by our own Dave Moore during intermission of the performance of 42nd Street at the theater tonight.
We'll be back with more of the Tuesday 5 in just a moment. The time right now, 27 minutes after the hour of 5.
Starting now, no appetite is too big for the border. Because now Taco Bell is the one place you can get a lot more for a lot less. Like our original taco, now just 59 cents. All day, all you can eat. Just 59 cents each. So now when it comes to getting your fill without paying the price, nobody beats the border.
Taco Bell has your order. Make a run for the border.
As cold weather approaches, the animals begin to adapt to the change in seasons. And beginning October 17th, your child can start learning how. Hello, I'm Mike Fairborn. Kids can take part in the Weather for Wildlife contest at their school. Participating classes should look over a poster we're sending to their principal, watch my reports at 6 p.m., and keep up with worksheets that are also provided. 45 classes will receive prizes, but no one loses from this learning experience, sponsored by the Minnesota Zoo and WCCO Television, Channel 4.
Picture yourself a wealthy socialite.
Your partner fleeced you, then bought a one-way ticket to Brazil.
Recently shafted. Off to Australia for the misadventure of your life.
And stay out.
Love is in bloom.
I'm stuck on Mars. I don't even have lip gloss.
Donna Mills and John Schneider. Outback Bound, tonight.
We'll watch you, yeah, we'll watch you tonight.
The wheel never looked better.
Tonight at 6:30.
On Channel 4. Here's a list that most of us can only dream of reaching. A list of the nation's wealthiest people is compiled by Forbes magazine. And topping the list is 70-year-old Sam Walton, the head of the Walmart discount store empire. In second place is John Werner Klug, the head of Metro Media Company. And third is H. Ross Perot, the founder of Electronic Data. And the wealthiest man in Minnesota, according to Forbes, is Twins owner Carl Pohlad. He is the 82nd wealthiest man in the country.
And here's the 83rd.
Thank you. Who is about to preview for you one of the items forthcoming on tonight's 6 p.m. report.
I'm Mike Strand. Hit hard by summer drought, Minnesota farmers are now getting an early start on this year's harvest. A look at the mixed results through the eyes of a Scott County farmer tonight at 6.
And we'll meet Herb Blashfield, a man who became 100 years old today.
This is the CBS Evening News. Dan Rather reporting. Good evening. A high-profile election year drug money bust today. A big-time international bank holding company with branches in 72 countries was indicted in Tampa, Florida. The charges, hiding millions in profits for a Colombian cocaine cartel. CBS News law correspondent Rita Braver reports on a U.S. sting operation that netted 85 defendants and an entire worldwide financial institution.
The fancy cars were supposed to be taking guests to a wild bachelor party. Engraved invitations had gone out for a big wedding weekend at this swank Florida resort. But instead of a bash, there was a bust. The invited guests allegedly top guns in the international drug money laundering market, targets of a U.S. Customs undercover sting.
Actually, it was a piece of cake.
Bonnie Tischler's undercover agents made contact with a Colombian drug network operating all over the U.S. The agents served as middlemen to help the drug dealers smuggle their huge profits out of the country.
Well, you have to conceal and disguise your money. I mean, it's a logistics problem.
And according to federal